Oh, it's so weird being at Crawford. I mean, it looks like a normal school, but it's not. No, it's easy. Right? I mean, Crawford's the worst. Go get help. Katie, talk to me. What's wrong? Okay, it's okay. I'm right here, okay? It's okay.
Welcome back. Let's continue from where we left off. Let us keep on engaging the movie, for better or worse. Are you still ready for it? Because I am.
I engaged.
Then Tristan just tells Chris Jellick to stay behind, and tell Lewis and the other shooters to come with him to pick up more bodies. I know Chris Jellick is not a best choice to keep on watch, but it's either him or the other person, who isn't very trustworthy to Tristan. And hey, a shotgun is not gonna hold an hostage better than a machine gun. Then we cut back to Zoe, which she... Whoa, why are you hiding there the entire time? I'm confused. Anyway, she tried to warn people to leave, but they won't because there's no announcement for that. But she insists them to leave because she thinks that the school shooters wanted a lockdown. Consider that she saw a school shooting live streamed, and she saw the office being blown in front of her eyes, right after the lockdown. It's believable. Then all of a sudden, an attacks, and she tries to use the locker to block it. Remember that earlier, which got jammed open? And no, it didn't block it. Pay close attention.
She's actually not taking cover there behind that flimsy little locker door. She's concealing. So there's cover and there's concealment. Cover is something that can stop the bullets. Concealment means they can't tell where you are behind it, and that's exactly what's happening there. Even though she was shooting through the door, she didn't know where she was behind that locker door.
And it's not like Anne's being established to be a good shot anyway. She landed a shot that cuts her leg. Yeah, only cuts it. It's not like she headshot her, or able to directly shoot through her leg. It just cuts her. And from someone who has experience with pistols, shooting a handgun in long distance is actually quite hard. And this is most likely a lucky shot anyways. Not like she and John Wick people. Then Zoe saw her mom again, telling her to run here, which leaves some balloon while she get in. At the same time, Tristan busts into the Spanish classroom, finding a teacher that he clearly knows, and tell everyone to get down to the cafeteria. And the teacher begs him to not harm any students. And in return, hey, every student knows how hot you are, so strip yourself if you want the students to be safe. Man, I really wish I could do that to Wanda, after she enslaved the entire town and got punished at the end.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Fuck you.
Man, I really wish there's a punishment by stripping right now. Why won't she pay for what she did? Oh yeah, the TV said so.
We're not here to talk about the Avengers.
Oh no?
No. What they did was supposed to happen. You escaping was not.
Really awful. Like, fuck up your whole life awful.
How can anything be worse than that in the MCU?
You just don't understand. I'm a black man carrying the stars and stripes. What don't I understand?
Just get back on topic. Then Anne got into a teacher's lounge. Remember what the teacher mentioned earlier?
The teacher's lounge was filled from floor to ceiling with balloons.
Which, yeah, tons of balloons. Which Zoe uses as a distraction to tackle Anne, which engaged to a fight, ending up back to the hallway, with Zoe using her battle skills and strength to overpower and blow her brains off. Then Zoe just vomits from it. And yeah, this fight is actually pretty great. Starting things out in a huge disadvantage, with her suffering from an injured leg, and Anne having a gun the entire time, with Zoe ends up having the upper hand, and ends up in victory. And how does she did it? With Zoe using the environment, and her quick wits and smarts, from the experience of her hunting, and the training from her military dad. Not to mention the locations are being set up already. Like, how can she use this locker, when none of the lockers can be open? It is set up that this is her locker. That is jammed open by her friend who likes her, and intelligent.
Because you're smart and safe?
Yeah,
you're not a total asshole?
So, how is her locker being located next to the teacher's lounge? First off, this is high school. It's pretty normal for things like those to locate next to each other. Not to mention, they stated themselves already.
Your locker's by the yearbook office, and I need your eye for some new layouts.
As for a staff room filled with balloons,
The teacher's lounge was filled from floor to ceiling with balloons.
with every piece being set up, it's natural for things to made by cause and effects. Especially the wanting nature of some of the fights inside really helps. And the format at the end helps ground us back to reality. That Zoe is still just human. And this is not some glorified action movie, in which Zoe is vulnerable and just try to save everyone, instead of try to engage in a fight. Then back to the Spanish teacher taking off her clothes. Hey, we're all men, right? And we all love to look at women. It makes sense for him to do that to gain views. Then in order for Lewis to save the teacher, he turned on a live comment, hoping that this could distract him. Then back to Zoe as she checked the gun, and it's out of bullets. Wait, something seems off. She reloaded the gun here. But how many shots did she fire beforehand? I count 8, but how many shots after she reloaded? Fucking 12. Where did the remaining 4 shots go? If she has 4 shots remain, she might get hit again. I know Anne isn't established to be a good shot, but she will still have a high chance to get shot. Or the other scenario, Zoe will have 4 shots left, so she can use it to beat the school shooters. Granted, she did not win fire to face the school shooters to beat them at the end, even after she got a gun later on, but it would make things easier in some situations. And either way will still cause a bit of an issue. Then Zoe continued to pick some more. Car keys, Anne's phone, hand sanitizer, which she used to clean herself after murder, and also a belt. The sheriff contacted the SWAT team, but they can't help because, bomb threat. It took them 30 minutes to come in. But consider the school shooters can make homemade bombs, it could or could not be a lie. We don't know. With the sheriff tried to get Tristan's phone number, and look inside the school's blueprint as well, while Zoe is dealing with her wound with a belt. She checked inside Anne's phone.
14 months or so to really make it sing. Between researching the blueprints of the building, gathering the tech, weaponry, etc.
Based on every planning I saw beforehand, I believe that. Then one of the commenters asked, how do you get the idea to do that? He said he didn't get the idea. More like the idea got me. Writer, I know that you don't want to glorify the school shooter, but you can still tell us that subtly. I got the hints of why he's doing that, don't get me wrong.
While you were looking out the window talking about how guys like me, we never amount to anything, you remember that?
But just explaining a bit is not actually far-fetched. Kinda disappointed that you can actually explain a bit of yourself here. At the same time, one of the cops tried to reach Tristan's parents, but unfortunately, they got murdered, so they can't help. And all is caught by Zoe's dad when he is listening to a radio, with all the cops gearing up at the same time. Then we finally cut back to the hostage situation, revealing that Chris Jella has schizophrenia. Okay, good, we got a bit more of him. That actually explains why he seems more unstable and violent. Then he saw the cops are gearing up, might seem try to enter the school, and in response, that works so well. And always heard by Tristan. Remember, Tristan loves to be famous and wants everyone to remember him.
Are we famous yet? Not yet.
Makes sense that he will get distracted by questions asking him live. Makes sense that it took gunfire to wake him back up. Also about the gunfire, that stops all the police from coming in. If they have the SWAT team, or if they are prepared for the situation, this will not work, as they can easily fire it back. But,
SWAT team's still 30 away. They were all the way up in York responding to a bullshit bomb threat somebody called in.
You didn't see that coming?
After finished dealing with the cops, he immediately stops the hostages from escaping. Then Tristan calls in, asking what is the issue, and oh fuck, you have mental illness. Best to come back and control you better. Then he grabs a gun, and forces everyone to come down with him, and tell the other two to get another class, while knowing they are the #1 trending topic online, forcing everyone to move quicker. Makes sense when you want everyone's attention. When things are trending the highest, then Zoe finally tracks him down. When she saw them broadcasting online from the phone she got from Anne and going to the school. And do you remember this?
Begin sweeping the rooms, top down.
But why did she go up instead of stay down and warn people? This part is more debatable, honestly. Sure, she can save these people faster, but other students will get captured quicker. And the school shooters are actually splitting up right now. And even once more here.
And we are behind, so I'm gonna take this group down. You go collect more.
That she knows from the phone of Anne. Also, she's trained by her military dad.
Guys at my unit had their look.
Not everything is about the war.
Who, in the first scene, teach her how to take down people one at a time without them noticing. So other options are understandable. Then when she saw Tristan walking by, she immediately hides. Smart. Then the other school shooter walked into her direction and didn't notice her. I know you're not a very well-trained person, but dude, it's literally just right next to you. Why can't you even see her?
I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I've become invisible to the eye.
Okay, but I understand why not Zoe just attack him right here. Tristan is commanding a bunch of students to walk by. She might have a chance to alert him. Especially when you're holding hostage a bunch of people, you have to stay in the back and walk slow. Then we see Zoe's dad grabbing a sniper rifle. Do not tell me that he won't do that. This guy is a military man. Being cautious and prepared for any situation is what he does. Especially in a firearmed hostage situation. Tristan went back to the original hostage area after bringing in more people and calms Chris Jeddick down, revealing that they used to be love interests. That's why he can control him and calm him down. Then one of the school shooters break into the classroom, with Zoe approaching him from behind. Then Tristan immediately phones Anne. If you're wondering, this is not really a contrivance. When Anna is being called off to take hostages, it is right after he goes himself. When Tristan arrived with one group of hostages already, and Anna hasn't even, of course the first thing he would do when he arrived back is to call Anna. But you know what happened to her. And because Zoe can't attack him here, of course she will attack him when he is distracted first, and Tristan will call around those times. It's just a minor coincidence here. That would actually happen in real life. Then a school shooter notices her, and Zoe runs away. She runs downstairs, while avoiding gunfire. I mean, it's just a shotgun. It's not exactly built for long range. And too focused on the target, so we're able to avoid it, and running to the side to dodge it makes sense, as he won't able to hit her. Also, it is smart for Zoe to use the dead body of Anna to trick the school shooter to be enraged and follow her, causing him not able to think and lure him into a trap. I know both of them didn't have a strong relationship, but they are still working together. Of course he will still feel something, and just to point out, there is no big reactions of how he feels. Things are pretty instant. When he saw the door opening in the school hall, he runs in, because you know, doors won't open when things are in a lockdown. And she can't reach the school door that quickly. After Zoe, you can't catch me, na 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 na. He went in and fell inside the trap. Remember this? When he finally gets up, Zoe sprays him with a fire extinguisher and bonks his head. He should be dead, honestly. If I were to do a small change on the script, I would use this pepper spray she picked up to distract him, and so as this baton to hit him in the face, so he won't be dead. If not plot armor, but even that, it is still a pretty good action sequence. A chase around the school that Zoe seemingly has a disadvantage, and turns out just a trap for him at the end, right after a small hiccup at the beginning, using the knowledge of her school and the training she has already, but still doesn't fail repeating the first fight. As the fight with Anna, Zoe is back into the corner, and has to find a way out of it. But with the fight with another school shooter, it is a chase scene that she has more space to run around. And Anna's fight ends with physically overpowering her, but this fight ends with outsmarting him. Not to mention Zoe approached him on purpose in this fight, and Anna's fight took her by shock. So yeah, a good fight indeed. Then Zoe locks him up with handcuffs. Remember this that she took? Then sit down and relax after everything she's been through so far. While waiting for the school shooter to wake up. While she's been waiting, her mom finds her, but seemingly more healthier than before. Have a conversation about overcoming the death of you, but Zoe still believes that she can't do it.
So you obviously meant me when you said someone was holding you back. But you're wrong. You died. There's nothing I can do to change that.
But her mom comes in, telling her that it's all just an illusion, and you can do it. The healthier you see me, your will of moving on from me gets stronger as well. It is a nice scene for Zoe to explain her inner conflict. I still prefer to do it more subtly, but still well and good to explore Zoe's character. Instead of shutting herself down and don't care about anyone, choosing to turn around to help people, starting to open herself more back to others, in order to live again.
The way I really was.
Jesus.
Oh great, you finally wake up.
You hear voices too.
Okay, so, what about you? Oh, you don't even have a what about. Good job. If this is supposed to be some kind of "we are the same," then I'll give you a bonus point. Because here, when he said that, she's like, "Fuck you, we're not the same." And debunk it immediately. Because you don't have a fucking end goal. Then the response.
Tristan called it a reckoning.
Go fuck yourself, you pathetic piece of shit. Then a school shooter asks, "What do you know about me?" While she's picking his pockets.
Nothing. You're incredibly forgettable.
Then she reveals his name.
What are you fishing for, Kip?
I do like this bit. Despite calling him forgettable, but still calls out his in order to draw out his motives and show that no one is completely forgettable. Then this twat replies.
We pull, and AJ Turner sneak up and pull my pants down in front of assembly. But
that doesn't excuse anything, you pathetic piece of shit! But people laugh behind me and joke about me, even from teachers when I don't hand in my homework. Okay, Kip. Do you think most people like to listen to other people laugh at someone who get bullied? And maybe the teacher accidentally say the wrong word that they don't know, so you killing people is bullshit? But most of all, most people are fucking innocent, you dum-dum. Do you know the girl that just died in my hands today? All I know about her is she likes horses. Do you actually think she deserves to be killed? Yeah, there is a good character interaction between both of them. This school shooter's motive may sound petty, but honestly that's how school shooters work. With Zoe clashing ideology with him, maybe you did have a tragic backstory. But that is no excuse for you to do any of this. I might be mentally fucked up, or may not even be treated very well, just like you. But we are not the same. But Zoe used it to try to help people, be more open up and try to live again, from things happening before. But Kip uses it to harm others. It explores both of their characters, and show how much Zoe has grown. Then Zoe stands up after taking some of her shotgun bullets and his phone, then leaves. Then cut to the outside, where Zoe's dad just came in, to see what's happening. Then a person that Zoe's dad used to know, give him a look of the streaming inside. You know, just some hostage situation, nothing much. With him talking inside to gain more.
Hold up, something's coming by.
Anna, where are you?
With him talking inside to gain more attention.
Okay, hold up, something else is coming by.
Hey, would you please report back? Tell me where you are.
With him talking inside to gain more attention.
Okay, something else is coming by now.
Anna! What the fuck? Speak!
Whatever, forget about it. You are serious. He's just casually talking? Why? Do you remember what you're doing beforehand? Right after you got back with a bunch of people. She didn't respond. I mean, duh. And you called her 3 times. 3 fucking times. You should have noticed something is going wrong. I know you want to stay in the camera. And I know looking around the school while filming you. I know, but that would be terrible for ratings. So just send Chris Jelic to find her. You both are just on the same floor. He could have found her dead body in no time. Ending up realized by Tristan, making Zoe's rescue plan fail. I completely understand why don't Anna just report her back here. If Zoe managed to convince them to open up the door, she will lose the element of surprise. Either Zoe will notice her, from the sound of it, or save those people already. Consider the fact that Anna is being shown as an aggressor, makes sense for her to choose to do that. And consider Zoe has an injured leg, choosing to shoot Zoe instead of reporting back, makes sense for her. Makes sense for her to walk inside the balloon room and try to kill an injured little girl. She's shown to kill without a second thought. And that's her first choice in the conflict. Do I need to mention again Zoe got shot right before? And only report back after she killed people. I can believe that she would choose to attack without calling him back. And to point at the second person, I can also understand that why don't Kip just report back. Zoe's running away and try to attack him from behind. Chasing after her just a few feet away to try to kill her is a logical move, as reporting back has a chance to lose her. And not to mention, he got emotionally manipulated by Zoe afterwards. But for Tristan not noticing her, after calling a few times already, it's not aligned with his character, and just downright stupid. And the time he should realize Zoe? 12 minutes beforehand. And of course not here. Thank God that he didn't do anything afterwards.
Fuck off, please.
Zoe then goes to take the shotgun, and reload it afterwards. Then someone came from the back of her. What? Teacher, you just got attacked by a school shooter. Teacher, why are you bringing the entire class down here? I know Zoe is your favorite student, and you might have just saw her here. But you can just come by yourself, instead of bringing the entire class with you.
You guys, you need to get out of here right now. We're trying to. Claire says they're in the cafeteria.
Okay. Then why did you just walk inside here? I just don't understand. I'm sure the writers do that because they want to skip over the confusing people. So they have kept attacking the lab. That's how we knows who she is. And she has to walk down from the second floor. Walk inside the theater for no reason. For that. But as for damage, it's not really a lot. They just want to skip ahead for it. And provide information that she can find sooner or later. Which she already got the phone, and even knows about it already. Then Zoe calls her friend. She gave it to the sheriff afterwards. Zoe tells the sheriff she is bringing people out, and wants him to distract the school shooters, so they won't know. Hold on a second. How does she know her number? She doesn't have a phone, and... I can't do this. Yeah, a person she has good relationship with clearly doesn't know their phone number. And she must know that.
How else can I justify my 50% as your manager? 50%? 50%.
Yeah, a person who is her manager definitely don't have her phone number. And she is smart enough for that.
I'm a quick study. You got that from me.
And some places, you need to know their number. What kind of show think that's not the case anyway?
Do you know Mary Sell?
No.
What about the clinic?
No.
Who actually knows people's numbers by heart anymore? Go fuck yourself.
Anyways, smart for Zoe to do that. The sheriff then walks towards the host, telling him to stop filming the school, and to film something else. Then when the female cop came in and gave him Tristan's phone number, remember that?
But giving me his number will violate his privacy?
What? Until the time passes to find his phone number, and this is really a small town. And what has happened while they are finding his phone number?
We're the #1 trending topic online.
About damn time.
I can't believe that they got his phone number right this time. It is a bit contrived, but one that is understandable. All while all students are just waiting in the front door. Then the sheriff calls Tristan, while filming all of those on the news, in order to divert his focus, to bring the students out. But Zoe wants to get more students out of the school, but the teacher is gonna help her this time. That is a nice touch, seeing that Zoe wants to help people, from a teacher that cares about her and wants her to move on from the past.
I just don't like seeing a bright young woman who used to love my class fade into the background.
And supporting her after seeing her try to live again, that is good for both characters. Not to mention, they won't go without a staff member. That includes teacher, which they have to trust without an office.
Are you a staff member? We're not supposed to leave until the office announces that it's over.
So having a teacher can easily convince them to leave. But wait, I've heard some people say, Zoe has an injured leg. Shouldn't the teacher tell her to go out as well?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Tell that to a person who has a shotgun on hand. Defeated 2 school shooters, and only one brave enough to save everyone. Not to mention the school shooters wanted the lockdown, and she knows that from Zoe.
But the shooters are watching our every move on the news.
While having physical evidence for that.
We're trying to. Claire says they're in the cafeteria.
Then one of the students gave a phone to a teacher, so she can always see the school shooters. Even though everyone has their own phone, honestly. I don't think giving her a phone is necessary. Whatever. In the meantime, the conversation between the sheriff and Tristan started. And Tristan tells the sheriff, yeah, you're not gonna do anything to convince me to stop. As the sheriff is stalling him, Tristan mocks him. You're not gonna use your dead wife or any personal experience to negotiate with me. That is not gonna work. And he's like, my wife is fine. But I can't say the same to your mother. He thinks for a while before saying anything. Then finally replies.
Well, I hope she's still watching. I think if she watches all the way through, she'll finally be proud.
That's a good moment. A bit more of a reason of why is he doing that. Of his mother and father never liked him, and has never been proud of him. But despite that, there is still some regret inside of him, even after murdering them. Still a good character moment for him, in just one line, as Zoe and the teacher are bringing more people out at the same time. Going back to the conversation, Tristan is arrogant and bragging about himself, which is aligned with his character, filming himself constantly bragging, and has a god complex towards other people. And the sheriff just like, explain everything to me, exposing his arrogance. Smart? He said he can make everyone do whatever the fuck he wants, but that doesn't interest him. And all I want is to be the shepherd and lead you out to the cliff. But the sheriff said nobody in the room wants this, and students run back. Then we got this moment.
Everybody watching is culpable. You all post and you tweet and you share. Everybody jumps at the chance to be both judge and jury.
Another moment of that for Tristan's character. Give you more of an insight for why Tristan's doing that. Which is most likely bullying, but in social media this time, and not just face-to-face interaction.
You created me.
Exactly what I said. After listening to all that, he asked that you made your point already? Yeah, you figured it out. Now I want to invite you to my cabin in Broken Bone. This is what he's referring to.
That's at our camp. In Broken Bow.
Made me wish that I could have that someday.
Let's go back. Then he continues. Because that's what I want to do. Instead of talking to this old doofus. Just a way to insult him. But the sheriff replies with, I beg you, please let those kids go. How can I get everyone safely outside, including you? A nice little moment for the sheriff's character. I know his character isn't deep or anything, but the moment also reminds that he cares about everyone, not just the innocents, but everyone. Give a bit more for his character. As Tristan is responding to that, Chris Jelly calls him, telling him that someone is letting their classmates out. Consider the classmates can be interviewed, and this isn't the same news network as before, and they are already here before. I can believe that this will happen, and he will find out this way. The one that Sheriff used to interviewed, he shuts the phone down afterwards. Yeah, this is a pretty good scene. It gave us a bit more depth in Tristan's character, and make us understand more of him. Building upon things that is aligned with Zoe and the Sheriff's character. Not to mention the personality of Tristan as well. After the phone hangs, everyone is left confused of what's gonna happen next. As the woman Zoe's dad knows, met her son back. As Zoe's dad can't find Zoe, because obviously, both the kid's mom and Zoe's dad asked the boy, did you see my daughter Zoe here? Yeah, she saved us. She just went back inside to help more people. Afterwards, he is calling by a call for questions, leaving Zoe's dad here alone, thinking what is he gonna do next. Along with all of their parents waiting for their children. Honestly, I do like something about this scene. That adds on to the movie. The relief of the parents finally meeting back their children. Give you a bit more reason to care about students in the movie. And a better sense of relief when Zoe finally beats the school shooters for something. And the concern of the parents waiting for the students make us care more about the situation. I do like this moment when the parents are comforting the students. The same as parents concerning about their kids. Good to ground things down back to reality. It's happening to real people, and they are affected by the school shooters. And those moments between the parents and the students are good ways to make us care about the attack here, and show us some humanity of the situation. Then Zoe and the teachers in the school sports room to collect more students. No, not the school shooter way. It's the bring that out for safety way. I do like this detail of Zoe looking around even turning her back, just in case of anything happening. Thanks to the training from her military dad. And it adds for building the atmosphere as well. As Zoe doesn't know will she experience the attack again. As Zoe being careful eventually leads up to...
Anna?
Took you long enough to realize that, when you should have noticed it here.
Fuck off.
Zoe doesn't respond to him, even when he asks. It's only when he threatens to kill the students, and one of the students shows his phone to her to look at the situation inside. Then she responds. Then Tristan asks her name.
Zoe Hull.
Which he vaguely remembers. And Tristan noticed that Zoe is using Anna's phone to communicate with him. Then Zoe said, she's dead. Then he asked about Kip. Oh, he's alive. But I actually hope he's dead. Whoa, Zoe. That part can easily trigger the school shooters. You're just lucky this is Tristan. So whatever, it doesn't even affect the overall story. Then Tristan said, "You're really messing up my plan. Do you actually want more people to die? Because of you?" She responds with, "That's the last thing I want." Then Tristan ignores it and tells her to come to me to beg for my forgiveness. And Chris jealous as well. Because Anna, it's actually his sister.
You've moved on to my sister. I love you and Anna both equally.
And I will kill a person every 5 minutes in order to motivate you, starting
now.
Everyone panics. As the teacher tries to stop Zoe, she refuses and immediately runs off. The conversation between Zoe and Tristan in this scene is fine. Not really much interesting things they talk about with each other. And just here to gain some basic understanding. The most interesting they talk about is really this.
Do you want more people to die? Is that why you did this?
No, that's the last thing I want.
Still not really a very deep moment of ideology clashing, really. The only good moment of this scene I can think of is the teacher tries to stop Zoe when she insists to go there. Seeing a teacher who cares and supports Zoe, and just wants the best for her, and even stay with her when she has a chance to go out, just to see her leave and might have a big chance to die, while doing her best to insist her not to go, it's kinda heartbreaking for her. After that, he stands up and explains something.
See, I don't make threats. Okay, I provide opportunities for growth.
Based on what we've seen him before, you kinda make one here already. And you're kinda making threats to people by organizing this. But you gotta remember, Tristan makes sarcastic remarks on camera in order to get attention.
We're not Nazis!
This moment may as well be another sarcastic remark. And the tone of his voice here proves it. And after seeing the threat Tristan made to his daughter, he goes to his car and grabs his hat, puts it on, and grabs his sniper rifle as well. That he got from his home early on. As he seemingly tried to walk away from the school, just to hide under a police truck, which is believable. Consider this as a small town with very limited police forces, and the police are dealing with a school shooting, while dealing with other stuff at the same time. Of course the limited police will get distracted by all this chaos, and thus won't notice Zoe that doing this. Not to mention Zoe is a military man, and has shown to be stealthy before already. Being able to do this isn't hard. Zoe then runs back to the hallway, then turns inside to a room, just to meet Kip again, and after some thinking, he has more to say.
Please kill me.
Interesting.
I shot Amy Kim while she was running away. She always used to smile at me.
After this 4-minute conversation, it's good to see him regretting for what he has done. Nice moment for Kip, even though the girl who tries to run away and you shot so happens to be nice to you. This is still just extra stuff. He has way more reasons from Zoe to have regression already. And maybe there are a lot of people being nice to him before. We just don't know, so it's just a minor issue really. All while Zoe is releasing him, also telling him to pay for her murder, and also others as well, as he's frustrated and asking her about it. Which she shows him a phone, with Tristan explaining, "I'm gonna murder a person if you don't come here on time. And I'm bad at numbers, by the way." Instantly, Zoe grabs his chin and say, "You're just a sad kid bully in the assembly." And that's really it. You create all those chaos just because of this. Some people who remember will fucking laugh at you for how petty that is. You wouldn't want that to be your legacy, don't you? Then he responds with a head shake, showing his regret of being part of this, and doesn't want to do this anymore. Then she hands him a shotgun, and tells him to come with her. Yeah, we need to talk about that moment. Which several things has to be looked at. Okay, firstly, is this moment not a smart choice?
Perhaps it was.
You are literally offering the school shooter the shotgun back. That is not a good choice, of course. But is that an unrealistic choice?
And I'm going to pause it right here just to clear something up, because a stupid choice is not necessarily an unrealistic choice. It follows when Jay takes the car and drives away from her friends and ends up driving into a ditch. That was a stupid choice, but it's not at all unrealistic, because we do stupid things when we're afraid or panicked or fighting for our lives. You should really take into account whether or not adrenaline or panic plays a part in it.
Let's look into it, shall we? Let's look into Zoe's POV first. What is the thing that triggers Zoe to do this? Oh yeah, execution of a student.
Stop! Stop! I'm on my way! No! Okay? You can't just come in. Get out of yourself too! Go!
So this is definitely a panic-filled decision. But is there more reasoning? What other choice does Zoe really has? She can't just run inside with a shotgun. There are 2 armed school shooters inside. Plus her leg got injured beforehand. She really doesn't stand a chance against both of them at once. Not to mention all he needs to do is just threaten to kill a student. She'll drop what she's doing afterwards. Do I need to say that she can't just use the teacher and the students to help her? Put innocent life in danger easily. Oh yeah, there's also the police. But they can't just go in there instantly. It would easily harm the hostages. A thing that requires a lot of planning. Which
5 minutes
isn't gonna cut it. And in Zoe's eyes, Kip is not afraid to harm people, especially who are against him. The school shooters will also not know Kip will betray them. Using Kip is not only not an unreasonable choice, it's also the best and only choice she has on hand. But hey, will Zoe believe that he will change? What changed Kip's mind is a 4-minute conversation with Zoe that he feel a bit of guilt afterwards. And according to the runtime, Kip has 20 minutes to think about what he did, and some regression afterwards. Plus a 30-second speech at the end. I do believe Zoe is trusting in some degree, and she's most likely hoping at this point, given this is her best choice already. Considering her intellect,
I've been accepted to Purdue for the fall. Yes, I remember. remember. I wrote a glowing recommendation.
and her being close to the shooter, to understand that behavior, going there herself is most likely just a suicide run.
You can kill me just as easily right here.
So this choice is most likely just a gamble. And in Kip's case, Kip has shown his steps after murdering someone, and shown not being very steady at what he's doing.
Kipper. You didn't have the stomach for it after all.
Said by Tristan himself. Kip is pretty shaky, and Tristan might have some doubts about him, but they do believe he has a chance to shoot them. So yeah, this is a reasonable but gambling choice in Zoe's part, because of the situation she is forced in. And Kip might also help her as well, from the setting and the limitation for her, so I really don't see this as an issue. If anything, I saw this as a development on Kip's part, turning from fighting for the side of the school shooters to fighting against them the moment he touches a shotgun. This moment took me a few watches for me to see this is not really an issue, as this really feel like one in first glance.
If the characters make the dumb choice that doesn't fit with the setting or the characters, and only seems to be there so they can lazily write in the catalyst for the main conflict, then I'm going to consider it a negative on your film.
Not this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, she tells Kip to come with her. Then the car arrives to their destination, which Zoe's dad could not get there because it's blocked by the police. He jumps down when the truck stops, bringing his sniper rifle, and looks towards the female cop for a bit before running to the woods. I'm fine with it, mostly. Consider the fact that the news and police cars are facing in that direction. Safe to say that the police are facing there, because the school is there. I can believe most of the cops are too busy dealing with this situation. But what about her? I know her back is turned away, but his footsteps. You sure you won't turn your head around after hearing it? I guess she's distracted, but there's still a possibility you can hear when she steps on grass, running. Not much of an issue though. Consider the possibility isn't too big. After waiting Zoe for too long, he decided to kill another. Just as Zoe finally got there, as Lou pointed the phone at her, ready to finally face off the school shooters.
Sounds so stupid. But I felt like I was going to die. It was embarrassing.
This part is also done. Covers around 30 minutes of it, just right before the climax. Sadly, that is in part 3. Be sure to come back and see how it turns out at the end. But how is the movie so far in this part? On the positive side, we got more interesting interactions, gave us more insight for the characters, for us to understand the villains even more. And same as Zoe here, the action scenes are all very intense, with all the characters involved doing the smartest in character choice in the given situation, with the lack of plot armor, mostly. And the main character Zoe consistently doing the most logical choices. But on the other side, a bit more dumb decision from the villains, and a bit more contrived moments. Also some, actually not much issue honestly, at least for this part. Feel free to point out things for me. I might miss something in the breakdown. So, see you in the third part.
Mom, please call me.
Hey, kid. Hey, come on, sit down. Sit down.
That deep place inside of you, your will to live, is getting stronger.